Alright, hello guys, hello Randy, nice to see you always around. So today, Tribal versus Rehoboam. Here we've got some statistics. We show that Rehoboam should be the favorite here, of course. 100 victory each setting. And it already played against Z-Horde, Barbarian, TheNightPanda, Daedric, and other side Tribal. Won its whole sets, but except versus Shadow, in which it was a tie, but we needed to have a tie break to define the first place of the group, and Shadow managed to win the tie break. Alright, so because the 3v3 and 4v4 were gonna be leggy, I played them offline, but I've got at least the recorded games. Anyway, we will start with the 1v1 first. So I hope that TheNightPanda is around. I don't get what you mean, Randy, when you say I'm so behind with games already and it will not get any better. Oh, okay. That's bad. So you will have a lot of games to watch in VOD. At least we might have 4 games today, maybe more. I assume that MrElephant should join later. I'm just starting right now because MrElephant tends to come a bit too late for me. But we might be able to co-cast together, I guess, for the 3v3, 4v4. Maybe we need some music from the game. Oh, sorry Randy for this. You look to be pretty busy actually. Okay, so let me know if the sound is okay, if my voice is not too low or too loud. Hello Chief. I smell a sweep. So at this point, it looks like Tribal. Okay, Tribal already lured its second boar, which is good. At least I won't blame a bad start for Tribal. It did find its resources. It does have some deers. To win this match, or at least this game, Tribal needs a perfect game. Because Rehoboam is no joke. And actually I'm praying for Rehoboam to go for archers instead of skirmishers, which might be a good help for tribal. Who made tribal? I made tribal. This is my first AI. When I started scripting in 2016, that was my first attempt in scripting, and it was my main AI for a quite long time. And I eventually switched for something new with Pharaoh, maybe four years later, and then Odette. Right, so it looks like, yeah, they're both clicked up with 22 villagers, and it looks like Rehoboam was a bit faster in this. So it looks like Rehoboam is gonna go for archers. And I assume that Rehoboam will reach feudal age at 10 minutes and 30, yes, and 33 for tribal. It might have had 3 seconds idle time from the TC. Alright, so it's gonna be an branch units fight during the feudal age with a lot of micro each side. And tribal used to build an outpost just to prevent potential forward towers from the enemy. That's why you can see an outpost in the front of its town. Alright, so we've got archers, which is a good news for tribal. Alright, but it won't be archers only. Alright, the scout is lost. It looks to be already a military advantage for Rehoboam, with a crazy micro and the hill advantage. Tribal should go back because the fight is already lost. Alright, for some reason Rehoboam doesn't push. We've got one villager, well, the same amount of villagers, but a small advantage already taken by Rehoboam with 4 more units than tribal. Tribal is really lucky for not having lost that villager. But the very bad news for tribal is the fact that Rehoboam actually didn't go for full archers. Now it's pure skirmishers. Oh, oh, this tower is gonna be a problem. Phew. It might have been 4 villagers lost, I think. Well, the fight is close. I'm not sure I understand your question, Tiff, but what I can say is Tribal can detect when it is in a hill disadvantage, so it will leave its position to move away. So this is the way Tribal deals with the hill advantage or disadvantage. So actually, Rehoboam managed to recover decent military population. And it's not too far from researching next stage. Yeah, that's it. And I assume that Tribal will need maybe 2 more minutes to click up. So that's gonna be a decisive battle which is gonna start right now. If Tribal doesn't take an advantage here, it's gonna be hard. Not too far from killing 1 villager. Interesting to notice that we've got actually many archers for Rehoboam, which is gonna be crossbows soon. Tribal is eventually researching Castle Age. Crossbows. Alright, we've got 1 stable. So we might see a bunch of knights coming to support the crossbows anyway. At this point, Tribal needs to reach castle and to go for elite skirmishers as soon as it can. Yeah, unfortunately, Tribal is losing its whole skirmishers before having the elite. So let's compare the population. 84 versus 52. The game looks pretty over. Rehoboam is booming with 3 TCs. We've got 2 stables. And the kill ratio might be amazing at this point. Tribal should resign soon now. Yes, definitely. TVDP, there is some comments to deal with the heals. Alright, I think that I already can give the victory to Rehoboam in this 1v1. Let's go for next one. I'm scared that my microphone will have some issues to keep working. It looks to be almost out of battery, sorry about this. Alright, so Rehoboam is Frankish both players, and I will need a sieve for tribal. Okay, it's gonna be Burmese. It's really interesting to compare how good Rehoboam does in the exploration compared to tribal, which is really chaotic. At least we already can see that Rehoboam did find everything. And it looks like yellow didn't find its second rhinoceros. Yeah, definitely that rhinoceros is not found. Yeah, 2 ships are missing for red. Alright, so blue is actually researching feudal age, so does green. Alright. Despite the fact that yellow didn't find its second boar, it didn't prevent it to be quite fast in researching next stage, especially thanks to the gears, which were a good help. So 22 villagers is for everyone. Alright, here we go for the first assault. Oh, interesting. Blue just retreated when red was gonna attack. But red leaves the ID to attack, so it's gonna be nothing between blue and red actually. Yeah, so the battle is actually under control for green. So actually, even if Rehoboam lost its wall unit here, it's actually making so much damage that it will have a strong advantage. I think that Kimberly really wouldn't like to watch this show, which is a pure skirmishers micro each side. Alright, so it looks like Rehoboam just dominates both sides, so the game is already pretty over. Green is really already almost clicking up. Yep. How food goal screw works for tribal? I think I don't remember exactly how I set it, but it might be after 20 minutes. It will look at how many villagers it does have, and this is a condition to start scoring resources, and it might be like 50% escrowed for food and gold, and then this value increase after having at least something like 400 escrowed food, something like that. It will turn in 100%. Yeah, I think that the game is over. Blue is researching castle with 63 population, 84 population for green, 54 for red, 44 for yellow. Well, what makes a huge difference between Tribal Ace and Rehoboam is the fact that the micro is really more powerful Rehoboam side. And the early advantage taken just offers a victory in the end. Oh, it looks like red is gonna be 1 versus 2. Yellow is considered already dead. That makes sense with 29 population. Alright, so the next games are gonna be recorded games, as I said at the beginning of the streaming, to prevent the streaming to be very laggy due to Rehoboam in 3v3 and 4v4. Which is pretty laggy. Alright, I think that I already can give the victory to Rehoboam. It was pretty one-sided. Alright, so I will need to spend a few time to find the recorded games which were played this weekend. So give me a minute for this. Alright, the recorded games are found. So I won't use Capture Edge because my computer is actually pretty bad for this. And yes, I already played 3v3 and 4v4 because Rehoboam is very laggy in those settings, so it's definitely more comfortable to watch the recorded games instead of the games live while streaming. And it's gonna be the same with Immortal versus the Unknown, 3v3 and 4v4 being already played too. Oh, definitely not Thief DP. No, I was talking about Immortal versus the Unknown. Immortal being also a very laggy AI in 3v3 4v4, but of course semifinals are not defined, so how could I have already played those games? Even if we already know that Rehoboam should play versus Immortal in the semifinal. No, yeah, Immortal versus the Unknown. So I don't know if MrElephant is around actually, but it can be interesting to know when MrElephant you wanna stream tonight, if you are free for this. I think I definitely can increase the speed actually, and to reach an interesting moment, at least the first fight, which should come soon now. Alright, here we go. Tribal is the first in action. And even if this is a recorded game, we can feel the lag actually. Interesting to notice that purple went for a pure Archie rush. And this is unfortunate to see that Rehoboam managed to see these forward towers under construction so fast. So indeed, going for archers is not the best option for Rehoboam. Too bad he didn't go for this strategy in 1v1 or 2v2. That would have helped Tribal to survive a bit more. Let's compare green. Actually 4 knights, 5 now. And yellow, which is almost the same amount of knights. But yellow looks to have been more aggressive. So the fight between red and teal looks a lot like what happened in the previous games. As soon as Rehoboam goes for skirmishes, the battle is way harder for Trevor. And yellow is actually doing a good job. Alright, let's increase the speed. Nothing special is happening to teal actually. Alright, so let's compare blue, which is suffering so much, and purple. Eventually it looks like teal suffered well less than blue, but blue is 1 versus 2 for quite a long time now. Green almost did nothing to help. Alright, this is pure domination. still is researching Castle Age eventually. Green is 20 population. Alright, GG. So let's go for the last one. So I will speed up the Dark Age. So for tribal we've got Turkish and Frankish as pockets, Vietnamese and Mayan as flanks, while Rehoboam side we've got both of the pockets which are Frankish and both of the flanks which are Mayans. Hello Fireball. So Rehoboam is actually winning 3-0. And I would say that it was a demonstration each game. Nothing much to say. And definitely I agree with DP, if the speed was a bit less fast, as soon as we just want to make it a bit faster. Alright, so let's go. Tribal decides to attack at first. So at this stage, let's say that Tribal is just looking to do fine just because it does have skirmishers versus archers. Oh, fletching is missing for blue. That might explain why it's actually losing its world skirmishes. Okay, retreat while I'm researching fletching, but it's definitely too late. Alright, so let's compare the flanks. Actually, blue is 40 civilian population, 50 population. Red is 38 civilian population, 40 population. Gray 52 population and 48 for orange, but orange is actually researching Castle Age. So it's not turning too bad actually for tribal in the west side of the map. For a change, it looks like the pocket decided to be active. Other side looks way better for Rehoboam. And I assume that yellow stays defensive actually because red is actually dominated by its opponent. So teal, oh, I can't change for some reason. Teal is 50 population, yellow is 78, so that's almost 20 population difference, which is quite a lot. Yeah, it looks like yellow doesn't know what to do actually. And I guess it's gonna be time to switch for the next opponent, orange and purple side. Yep. I just needed to tell, and purple is reacting. Let's see population from green. Actually 64 civilian population. And it looks like Teal is pretty confident, considering that red is almost dead. It decides to switch. But at least yellow does have something to defend. What's red population actually? 31 population for red. And gray is 81. Well, teal is not doing so bad eventually versus yellow. At least it maintains the pressure with nice come here from time to time. So that's kind of sad for tribal to lose one side so badly while the other side is actually turning well. So teal is far from researching Gimber Age. And we've got